I'm Vasel. Welcome to Look Back. This is a video series I do where I go back and take a look at reviews I did last year, 5 years ago, and 10 years ago, this same kind of time period. And I tell you what I think about them now, if I think about them at all. So here we go, a year ago. Woo! First of all, we have Wormlord. Wormlord is a funny game in which you are fighting with other people worms, and you have these little threads that are worms, and you tie them in knots. That's the whole thing. And you put them out on the board, and your opponent then unties them to throw them off the board when they attack with their worm. It is hilarious for one game. 6 out of 10. Shot and Totten 2. I love Shot and Totten. I give this an 8.5. What a great battle line two-player game. Shot and Totten 2 adds extra stuff, makes it more convoluted. 6 out of 10. Waddle. This is a game from WizKids. Penguins, area control. This one is good, but it's a little too convoluted for how simple and cute it looks. I don't know, I felt like there was just a little bit of a spark missing, so I only gave this one a 6.5. Speaking of penguins, you're a penguin. It's been a year since I take a look at this one. 7 out of 10. This is a game that's basically Uno mixed with a stacking game. There's Rhino Hero, other games. It's very much like that. You're stacking folded cards and round cards and penguins and little ice things, and it's cute as all get out. Smash Up, the Marvel set. They never did come out with a sequel to this one or expansions for this. I really like the Smash Up Marvel set. I mean, as much as I like Smash Up, 7 out of 10. It's not like amazing. I like the Smash Up series as a whole. I thought this is a good entry to the series, and it is fun to mix the Marvel stuff with non-Marvel stuff. Like, hey, you can now make Zombie Hydra if you want. Seastead. This is a very interesting two-player game, also from WizKids. A lot of things going on, a lot of options. It feels like a bigger game. It comes in a small two-player type game, like Lost Cities and other games of that ilk. But Seastead has a bit more of a, it feels like a bigger game inside it. 7.5. I took a look at the expansion for Thingavalir. This is an expansion, a great expansion, 8.5. I don't play with it all the time. I play with it about half the time, but that's because Nidavellir is just that good of a game. But Thingavalir adds some extra stuff that you can do and go back and forth on. And then After the Empire, fantastic game, 9 out of 10. In this game, you have people who are attacking your castle, you're defending your castle, you're building your castle walls up, like literally, with towers and defending your castle as best as you can. And each player is doing that, and you want to defend your castle the best. It's a really fun worker placement game. 5 years ago, I took a look at Picasimo. This is kind of like Pictionary, but you're mixing things up. It's kind of an interesting, amusing, again, one-time amusing game, 6 out of 10. Papo Paulo, this is from Quinted Games. It's about delivering pizza. This was a 7. I think I'd drop it to a 6 a little bit. The theme is not as strong as I'd like it to be because the idea of delivering pizzas is great. It's fine, but unfortunately, it's been a little forgettable as the years have gone by. HMS Dolores. This is a Bruno Feduti, Eric Lang combo. Like a little deduction style, not little deduction, but it's a typical Feduti little game. 7 out of 10. Love Letter, the premium edition, big cards, beautiful version, which is always funny to me that they make a big version of a game that initially was very small. But this one is very nice and can cover more players, 7 out of 10. Kashgar, Merchants of the Silk Road. Now, I know Z is a big fan of this one, likes this a lot, and I like it. I don't love it. It's a deck building game, except you can see your deck in front of you because the cards you pull from the top and bottom and you buy them, you stick in there. Some really interesting ideas. I wish the theme wasn't as bland as it is, and it feels like there's a few things in it that I don't love as much as other games, but it's still a neat concept. 7 out of 10. And Arcadia Quest, the Pets expansion. Man, one of my favorite expansions of all time. Arcadia Quest was already fun. Add in these little pets that go around, give special abilities, and they're cute as a button. Really, really cool expansion for a game. Arcadia Quest, 10 out of 10. All right, 10 years ago. All right. Draco, Dragon and Dwarves. Now, this is an interesting game. It's very asymmetrical. One person plays a dragon, the other person plays 3 dwarves. It just didn't play out as exciting as I wanted it to be. I know they made a reprint of this several years later that I did not play, so maybe it got better, but based on that original one, 6 out of 10. Zongxi. This is with, you have these scrolls, you have these masters controlling things. The game doesn't look that good, and honestly, I watched part of my review, looked at the game, and I'm still having trouble remembering it, so I guess a 6 out of 10 is where it's at. Cavemen Curling. This is like a curling, flicking, sliding type game. It has a big, long board. It's fun. You know, it's like many of these other games, 7 out of 10. That sounded less than a 7. Let me say this. It's fun. Balloon Cup. I really like this 2-player game from Steve and Glenn. As you play back, it's been a while since I played this one, but playing cards on your side or your opponent's side, trying to have your balloon go higher or lower depending on what's going on. It's a very fun back and forth. It was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, 7.5. And finally, Dragon Rampage from Richard Launius. This was a dice game, push your luck, but had 3 different ways that the game could end. You're all fighting a dragon together, so you could win by killing the dragon, or by the dragon killing one of you, or by one person just getting out of dodge and running out. Depending on which ending happened, you scored points in different ways. I liked it a lot. It had some printing problems, and I still gave it an 8.5. This was remade. It's in the Dice Tower Essentials line as Dragon Scales, a very similar game. I think Dragon Scales is a better, smoother game. And that's it. Those are the games that I reviewed 1, 5, and 10 years ago this week. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Look Back on the Dice Tower.